I have put up a center beam in the sawmill shed here, which is basically centered over the middle of the saw bed. The idea is to take a couple of trolleys like this and run them down through some unistrut so that it can run from end to end, and to that we can attach the chain hoist so that if we lift up a log at any point along here, we can lift up one part of it and then slide it one way or the other. The other option too is that someday we may want to bring in a log that's longer than 20 feet or so, because the opening here in the sawmill shed is about 23 feet, so we could probably get a 22-foot log in here. You know, actually we probably couldn't because of the saw head, so we probably could get just the way things stand right now, we could get maybe a 17 or 18-foot log. My idea is that I'm going to build a separate mill head shed out past the end of this building, into which we will be able to put some temporary rails, angle rails up, and roll the saw head right into that shed and then close the doors. That way we can lock it up, keep it out of the weather, keep it secure. If that's the case, we gain another 3 feet or so. At that point then we could probably get a 22-foot log in here. But in the case that we had a log that was longer, let's say we had a 25-foot or 30-foot log, we could probably bring it in from that end, set the end of it on the bunk there, lift it up onto the trolley that's in the unistrut, and then actually work its way down to the end where we could have the mill head and start milling it. And it would make it easier for moving it from one end to the other to be able to lift it. Now the question comes, is this going to be strong enough to lift a log that's 30 feet long? I guess at the very worst, we could put a brace up under this at some point to help strengthen it. I don't know. We'll see how it works. We'll see how much it'll lift. But for right now, the idea is to get this unistrut put up there. And I only have a 10-foot section for now. I've ordered another 10-foot section. So 10 feet will come to about here in the middle somewhere, and then the other 10 feet will go down there, but that won't come for another week or two. So let's see if we can get this put up there. Originally my thought was to have unistrut hangers, which would be bolted up into the beam, and then the unistrut would be hung on those hangers. But then the problem comes in that that's going to lower the whole apparatus down another 1.5 or 2 inches or so, and I think that I want to maintain the height that I have. So I think because this is slotted, I'm going to go ahead and take these 3.5-inch structural Simpson screws, SWDS I think is what they're called, with a washer, and we'll run it up through here, and we can put in as many of these as we have to give it plenty of strength and to tie it into the beam. So let's go ahead and see what we can do, see if we can get this thing put up there. These require this T40 star connector, which really is nice because you never cam out on those. With this driver, you're just never going to cam this thing out. It really drives in nice. Wear my hat inside when it's sunny outside and my head gets hot. I don't really need it on because it's for the sun. So there's that first piece of channel, unistrut channel. This is actually called Super Strut. It's from Home Depot. It was cheaper than the other brands that I saw online, but it takes a while. It takes a couple weeks for it to get to you. But there it is. It seems to be attached pretty well with those slots and structural Simpson screws up in there. That thing is in there solid. So I think that this might be the answer. So let's go ahead and check this out here. We'll try to put that trolley in there. So here's the trolley. Well, maybe it's not going to work. Yeah, there's the problem. There's not enough height. Well, if I'm acting like I'm an invalid, we've been doing some bricklaying the last few days. I have to admit that bending over and working on my hands and knees laying brick is not the most fun job, and it sure is taking a toll on my back. So my back is sort of creaking today. Not able to move real fluidly. So that's my reason. That's my excuse. So let's try this. We'll see if we take that washer out, if that makes a difference. If not, we're going to have to hang them from the hangers. Sorry. Come in handy right off the bat. So this works pretty good, except that with that washer in there, hand me that trolley now. With that washer in there, there's not enough room for the trolley. I'm not sure. Nope, that doesn't work either. So we're going to have to hang them from the hangers. So here's the hangers. And these are, I don't know, these are a couple bucks a piece. I think I got 8 of them in here. And this particular one from Amazon came with the bolts. And they're 8.8 bolts with a nut that's got the, I don't know, what do you call that? It's a plastic or nylon insert in the nut, which keeps it from coming back off once you tighten it up. That's pretty nice. So these, I think we can hang these up without the washer. I suppose using the washer isn't going to hurt. It might. Okay, so we have the brackets put up there. We got 8 brackets put up. That'll be 16 inches on center. And I left them a little bit loose so that hopefully we can slide that channel right down through there. Hopefully. We'll see how that goes. Okay, so now there's these those bolts down there and the nuts. I guess we better tighten these things up first before we do that. I need to screw it in. If that'll reach or not. Okay, so now we can put those bolts in. So check with the socket set and get the right size socket for it. There we go. So here are the screws that we're using to put the brackets up into the beam. SDWS timber screw, 4 inches, and those things are stout. Some of them we put washers, the others we didn't have enough washers, so. And then here's the bolt. Jonah's tightening up. And there's the trolley. So we're halfway done. We got a 10-foot piece of unistrut or super strut put up there. It's all locked in. Got the trolleys. And the whole idea was we wanted to basically be able to put this Harbor Freight chain hoist up and be able to get it out of the way when we're not using it, and then when we need it we can roll it right back down here to the middle of the log or wherever we need to use it. So a way to attach it, I think what we're going to do is get a piece of 6-inch channel iron about 10 inches long, and we'll bolt it up on the underside of those flanges there, and then make some kind of a hook on the bottom of that channel iron for this hoist to click into. But that's sort of what I was envisioning. I was hoping that this would work, and we'll see how it works and see how much weight it will carry. Hopefully it will carry what we need. I've got another 10-foot piece on order, and I'll have to order 8 more brackets, and we have to find a piece of channel iron. Well, we decided to go ahead and paint the hoist a nice hunter green color. To sort of match the sawmill. And we repainted this hunter green again to match the sawmill. So we've redone the little track runner here, carriage trolley, I guess you could call it. Put in a little bit longer bolts, and they're M12s by 175, so those are a little bit heftier. And now I've got the next piece of unistrut to put up, so I guess we'll see about getting that to work. But for now, these bolts I haven't tightened up. They still need to be tightened up. So I'm putting up the other unistrut or super strut. Unfortunately, the situation here is that I have to put the brackets up first to get, because I can't put the screw up through the unistrut. I can't screw up through there because the heads of the screws are too big. It just doesn't work. So I have to put them up there first. And that first one that we put up, we just went ahead and just ran it in from the end. We snaked it in from the end. But this one wasn't going to work that way because there's no way to snake it through because there's that beam back there. So we can't. So what I had to do is I had to go spread those hangers out to 1 5/8 inches. So you'll see I spread them out. And then I think I'll be able to push the unistrut up in there, and then we'll use the bolts to tighten it back up and take that bend out of there. So that's what I've got to do. So I'm going to go ahead and put the, oh, and by the way, I have that one right there. It's a double for where they meet. But that one, again, it was sort of a difficult thing because I couldn't screw up straight because the unistrut was in the way. So I had to make it come this, it's not centered exactly, it's got to be this way, just a hair. And then I'm putting these on every 16 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I'm leaving them a little bit loose because that way things will work on there pretty well, because at this point I can go up through the unistrut and drill them in through here and tighten them up. So now this last one, I think I'm going to have to move the saw head over. So now I'm going to go ahead and see if I can fit that thing up in there. Wow. Tighten one of these up, so that's it. That worked a lot better than I thought it was. Okay, so now I realize that I can't put those all in until I tighten the screws. Yeah, darn it. The holes don't line up. Oh, shoot. So what I got to do is I have to loosen these, slide it one way or the other so that the holes will line up. But that's for another day. It's 6:15. Beautiful evening. Had a little bit of rain this afternoon, just a couple, that's not much more than a mist. But we're dry and we could use some rain. Hey, thanks a lot for coming along on a journey. Please give us a thumbs up if you like the video, and give us a subscription